Hey, I'm Cornelis. Welcome to Your Band is a Business. This is the place where I discuss the day-to-day realities of being an independent musician. Later, I'm going to talk about what's going on with my own music, how I'm promoting it, and what the results are at the moment. But before then, I want to discuss today's topic slash question, which is, are the music marketing gurus all scammers? Now, this is a bit of a clickbait question slash topic, and when I upload this video, I'm going to make a nice clickbait thumbnail. But I'm the kind of person that likes nuanced and grown-up discussions about things. So the short answer is no, they are not all scammers. But yeah, I want to discuss this topic so that you, as independent musicians, artists, and producers, have something to think about when you are consuming the content of the music marketing gurus. Now, the first thing I'll say is that in any industry, there are people that are coaches, consultants, uh, providing information, collecting information, sifting through information to provide to that industry so that the people working in those industry can be better at their jobs. And I think that service economy is valuable, can be valuable, and uh, yeah. So I don't have an issue per se with music marketing gurus, and the way that I say that, it can sound a bit dismissive or condescending, but it's just a funny way to describe the people that we all love or hate. You know, the people here on YouTube and Facebook and Instagram who are telling us that we're doing it wrong, and they have the system that will help us achieve our music goals. Yeah, I'm not against that. There's a time and place for that kind of service, and it's not for me to say how people should run a business or make money or earn a living. I'm not against any of that at all. And who knows, maybe one day on this channel I'll make some money, whether that's from the ads. If I, when you reach more than 1,000 subscribers, then some of the ad revenue goes to the person who runs the YouTube channel, or maybe I will sell a course or a book or something like that. I'm not against any of that at all. It would be quite nice, in fact. So yeah, I'm not against that, but I think that us as independent musicians, artists, producers, we need to remain skeptical. We need to keep our wits about us when we are consuming the content from people out there in this industry, because uh, some advice is better than others, yeah, and some advice is more applicable to other people or more applicable to ourselves. Now, one of the big criticisms that you can usually level at advice givers, coaches, gurus, etc., is that in many cases they don't have the real world experience to back up the advice that they are giving, and this happens in all kinds of industries. In the corporate world, there's the same thing. There's people that are consultants, but they've never actually started or run a business themselves, and so in music, there are people out there saying, okay, this is how you grow a fan base and this is how you promote your music. But they've never released their own music. They've never grown their own fan base. Now, the kind of defense is usually that you do not have to have been a great player in order to be a great coach. So this analogy comes from sports, right? So uh, if you're a sports fan, then you'll know about this. But for those of you that are not really into sports, sometimes you will have a really great coach or team manager that was never a great player, or sometimes never even played professionally. And some of the greatest sports coaches, team managers in history weren't great players at all. They were just amateur players. Some coaches and managers were great players, but a lot of them weren't. So I can see how that can apply to other industries. Some people have skills in terms of noticing patterns in other people's work, or collecting information, bringing information together, sifting through information in order to determine what is valuable and what is not. And I believe that is a skill. And to an extent, I sometimes do that on this channel, right? Because I will, for example, share tools that I'm using. And obviously, I'm not a creator of apps and tools, and I'm not good at, I'm not a graphic designer or a videographer, but I'm happy to point you towards tools that I've used myself. I said, okay, I've used this app to create my lyric video, or I use this app to make my videos. That's valid, right? So I do understand this analogy. Like, you don't have to have been a player in order to be a coach. But I have to say that on the whole, if I have the choice, I do gravitate towards listening to people that have walked the walk themselves, right? So, for example, when it comes to songwriting, I'm really interested in getting advice from the great songwriters, from the people that have written songs that I love, or people that are objectively very successful at what they do. So, for example, I'm thinking of Max Martin. I like a lot of his pop songs, but maybe not all of it, and I think he's a bit too strict with following a formula all the time. But I can't deny he's hugely successful, and he has many #1 songs under his belt. I think he's got the most, besides, after Lennon and McCartney from the Beatles. So it's undeniable he's very good at writing catchy songs. And so I really gravitate towards uh, seeking out interviews with people like him, or seeking out content where people analyze what he's done, and also my heroes. So all the people whose songs that I love, I really gravitate towards the advice that those people give. Now, that doesn't mean that I'm going to dismiss everything else, because sometimes there are YouTube channels out there where people uh, are giving advice about how to come up with lyric ideas and stuff like that. And I think, yeah, that's a good idea, and that works for me. And that person might have not written any song that I think is good, uh, and they might not have success, quote unquote, success in the music industry, but sometimes they give some good tips and some good advice. But you have to be sensible about it, and be skeptical in terms of, okay, who am I going to listen to for advice when it comes to songwriting or music production, or how to market myself as an artist? Because we only have so many hours in the day, right? And so we have to think about who we are giving attention to. And when it comes to social media, there there is a skill in being able to grow a big following, and that is a valuable skill, and that's something that we as independent artists, musicians, producers should learn from and analyze. But people that are very good at that, they might not be so good at the other thing, but because they are successful in growing a following, it can fool you into thinking, okay, well, they must be an expert. And that's just our innate human psychology, which is, if somebody appears successful and famous, then we are just much more likely to believe what they say, right? And that's human psychology, and I have to deal with that, and we all have to deal with that. But like I said, yeah, you could have somebody that is very. So I'll think of, there's a particular example, and I won't name his name, but there's a guy who has a YouTube channel which is mostly focused on songwriting. At least in the beginning it was. Now it's branching out to production, but it's mostly focused on songwriting, and he has tens of thousands of, I think hundreds of thousands of subscribers on YouTube, and he sells books and courses about songwriting. And he would come up in my feed, and I would check it out, and some things I agreed with and some things I didn't agree with. But one day he released a song, and it wasn't very good. I would even go as far to say that it was bad. And it wasn't just me. 90% of the comments were saying this is not a good song, and people were really disappointed because he had built himself up as this guru who was giving advice on how to write songs, and his the song that he premiered as like, okay, this is my song. It was the first time he'd really shared his music. People were really disappointed. I wasn't so disappointed, but that's because my expectations were low, because I've seen this happen so many times where people, they're very good at building up an audience and presenting themselves as an expert, but then they can't back it up. Now, I felt kind of bad for him because it was a lot of negativity, and it's not nice to have to deal with that. But on the other hand, like, he, in a way, he set himself up for that. If he had shared his music from the beginning, then people's expectations would have been more accurate. But then would he have been able to grow an audience to if he had been sharing his music? Because then people would be like, well, you're giving this advice, but um your own results, your own songs aren't that great. So maybe that would have limited his ability to build an audience. And I'm not gonna lie, I'm a bit jealous of people like that, because they can grow these huge channels. This guy's got hundreds of thousands of followers, and he's selling courses and books, and he's making, if only a small percentage of his subscribers is buying his products, then he's making a very good living. And from the studio setup that he records in, I think he's doing quite well. And I'm jealous because I think I'm I'm a much better songwriter than him, so maybe I should write some courses, or create a course or a book or something like that. Um, but then uh, people would think, well, yeah, but you're not successful and you're not famous, so why should I listen to you? And so, in a way, I would be a victim of the fact that I'm actively sharing my music. I don't hide my music. I say, like, go over to Cornelis Gerard on YouTube or Spotify and listen to my music. So I'm setting I'm putting making myself more vulnerable, as it were, because people are able to judge my songwriting and decide whether they like it or not. Whereas if I hid my music and didn't talk about it, and just put out content about how to be a great songwriter and analyzing all the greatest hits of songwriters, then potentially I could grow a big audience and then sell products and make money from that. But then, yeah, I don't want to be that person. I want to be somebody where I'm as authentic and aligned as I possibly can be. And that's an aspiration. I'm not saying that I can always do that, but it's it's something that I would like to be and try to aim towards, right? So, yeah, maybe I'm shooting myself in the foot from a making money point of view, but then it's not all about making money. As I said before, it would be great. It would be nice if I made money from this channel or from my own music, merch, books, courses, whatever. It would be great. But yeah, I have for better or for worse, I have some standards for myself that I want to stick to. And part of that is being authentic and real about my own results. So yeah. But anyway, I don't want to ramble too much. I want to get back to the point, which is when you are out there on the internet and you are watching videos, reading articles by people that are giving advice on songwriting, on producing, on how to market yourself as an artist, just be skeptical and think, okay, what are the results that this person has achieved for themselves or for their clients? And don't just think, okay, well, they have a lot of subscribers on YouTube, so they must know what they're talking about. Because as I've said this in previous videos, uh, it's a different thing to grow a social media following as an advice giver than it is as a doer, right? So this channel, Your Band is a Business, I have more than 500 subscribers, and it has taken very little effort. As you can tell, I upload one take videos. Sometimes I put two different pieces of content together, but on the whole, it's just one take, and I upload it, color correct it maybe, and then upload it. And I do that once a week or twice a week. or sometimes I do a video where I'm, capture a screen capture where I'm showing you what I'm doing, how to set up ads or something like that. But it's very little effort, really, and yet I've quite easily gotten more than 500 subscribers. Whereas my artist channel, Cornelis Gerard Official, I have 100 subscribers on there, and the content I put on there, it takes a lot more effort because I'm putting lyric videos up there. I'm putting up footage from my own gigs or gigs that I've gone to watch other bands. I'm putting up content which is kind of almost like a travel vlogs when I go to visit countries or I go to visit friends in different countries. I take some footage and I edit it together, and it all takes more time than this channel. Yet there I only have 100 subscribers. Now that is due to how people interact with music content versus information content. And with information content, people want to keep up to date and they want to, so they subscribe and they like and they leave comments. Whereas with music content, people are a bit more passive in their consumption. And that doesn't mean that it might well be the case that there's more people lurking and watching with the music content, but yeah, it's just a different thing. But anyway, my point is, don't look at a music marketing guru and think, oh, they've got hundreds of thousands or maybe even millions of subscribers, therefore they know how to grow the social media for a musician, because it's not the same. There's lots of similarities and there's takeaways and things to learn, but it is not the same. And I don't think it's right to say that, oh yeah, just because I've grown this marketing channel, therefore you should listen to me when it comes to the social media. And so when it comes to this channel, right, you will never hear me say, oh, because I've got 500 subscribers here, therefore you should listen to me about what I'm doing with my music. No, I, I'm sharing here what works and what doesn't work when it comes to my own music, and you should judge what I have to say on how it is affecting my music, right, and the promotion of my music. And I'm not pretending to be a guru who has it all figured out, obviously, because otherwise, how can I hide? I'm not hiding that. I share all the time how many listeners I have on Spotify or how many views my TikToks get. I'm just telling you how it is, and you can go over there and have a look and see what it's like, right? So there's no hiding. I'm telling you what I'm doing, and so yeah, all I want to say is, in conclusion, is yes, you can take advice from all kinds of people. You can take advice from your favorite musicians, your favorite artists and producers. You can take advice from people that are collecting information, that are sifting through information, that are analyzing what other people are doing. That's something that you can do. That's something that I do sometimes here, right? Um, Definitely do that, but just be a bit skeptical sometimes, be sensible, because you only have so many hours in the day, you only have so much attention. And if you are going to decide on, okay, I'm going to spend half an hour doing some research on YouTube, maybe you should think about, okay, I should listen to people that have actually done it or are doing it, or maybe they have a proven track record in terms of their clients. But then again, with coaching and consulting, they are always going to share their success stories, right? So it doesn't matter what business you are in, whether it's music or in the corporate world, coaches and consultants, they have all kinds of test studies, test cases, case studies. So they will say, look at this person, this band that I took from 0 to 100. And but you have to realize maybe they have 100 clients and only 15 out of them got successful, right? And the rest were unsuccessful. Now, the coach or the consultant will say, well, they didn't follow my advice the way that I said. Who knows? Maybe they did follow the advice, maybe they didn't. Maybe the people that were successful would have been successful anyway, and it wasn't due to the advice. Who knows? There's all kinds of ways to think about this, but I'm just saying, be careful about who you're taking advice from. Be skeptical and direct your attention to what is going to be most relevant to you, what is giving you practical ideas that you can test and try out, and be wary of the people that are all about the motivation and about trying to make you feel that you're doing something wrong and that they have the solution for you in the form of something that they can sell you, because those people are often just they're creating feelings in you and then they're selling you another feeling rather than something practical that you can actually do, that can give you results and that you can actually measure. Okay, I was in this situation and then I did this and now the results have improved. So yeah, be careful of the people that are selling hype, that are just trying to make you feel bad and then feel good. Be careful of that. Okay, that's all I wanted to say about that, but I'm interested in what you have to say about this. What are your experiences with coaches, consultants, gurus? Have you read books or taken a course or joined a private members group that has given you value? Let me know in the comments. I do have some good experiences with people that I've taken advice from, and maybe I'll share that in another video. I'll tell you about some of the people that I like to take advice from and listen to. So anyway, let me know in the comments what your experiences are, and I'll speak to you next time. But first, actually, I will talk about what I've been up to lately with promoting my own music. Okay, so a quick update about my own music, how I've been promoting it, and what the results are so far. Here I am in my Spotify dashboard, and as you can see, over the past 28 days, I reached 187 listeners. Now, for me, that is a success, because only a couple of months ago did I reach 100 monthly listeners for the very first time. So I'm almost double that. So if I keep at it, if I keep working, then maybe in a couple of weeks I can reach 200 monthly listeners. Now, 10 days ago, I released a new single, which is called Can't Sit Still. And to promote that song, on the day, I messaged all my friends. I posted about it on social media. In the weeks leading up to the song release, I contacted a bunch of online radio stations, and some of them did indeed include my song in one of their shows. So that was great. And after that, I have obviously been reaching out to more blogs and more radio stations. I'm not using Submit Hub or any other service like that, so I'm not paying to reach out to these stations and blogs, because I've had some not so good experiences with that in the past, where one or two out of 50 might write about my song. So yeah, I don't have great experiences with that. In terms of paid traffic, paid ads, for the first 2 days, I ran an Instagram / Facebook campaign to promote the song to people that had interacted with my social media profiles in the past. So people that had watched a video or liked a post or something like that. So that's what I did for the first couple of days. And in the background, I have a campaign that is directing people to a Spotify playlist. Now, this playlist is a playlist that features a whole bunch of indie rock bands from in and around London, and some of my songs are included on that playlist. So that is a Facebook / Instagram campaign that is always running in the background, and I'm spending about £2 or £3 a day on that, which is, I guess, $3 or $4. So in terms of paid advertising, that is what I'm running. But other than that, all my activity is organic, as it were, posting on social media. Now, today I just posted the lyric video for the song Can't Sit Still, which is here on my YouTube channel. I just posted it, so it only has 6 views at the moment, but people really respond to my lyrics, so it's important to have a lyric video out. And I will work on a music video for the song. It's not going to be a fully produced music video, but it will be made from footage that I recorded during the recording sessions or from some of my travels and from gigs. So it'll be kind of a behind the scenes type music video. And I think when it comes to music videos, yes, it would be nice to make real music videos, but in terms of allocating money to that, I don't think it's the wisest thing for me at this stage of what I'm doing. Rather, that money can go to other things like recording more music. And when it comes to proper music videos, I think they should be low budget or free, and that's the route that I'm taking. So yeah, that's what's going on with my music. Yeah, sometimes I feel a bit down about myself, and I think, oh, I have so few listeners. I've released 20 songs, but you shouldn't compare yourself to other people. You can only compare yourself to what you were achieving before. And as I said, I've almost doubled my listeners, so maybe in a couple of weeks I will reach 200 monthly listeners, which would be great because it took me years to get to 100 and only a couple of months to get to 200. So I just try to imagine all those people in one room. If I had 200 people turn up to one of my gigs, that would be amazing. So the fact that almost 200 people in a 28-day window are listening to my music is great. And this is just Spotify, right? Because obviously people are listening on Apple Music and Deezer and YouTube and other platforms. So yeah, in total there's more than 200 people listening to my music every month, which is great. Like, it's a proof of concept as well, right? If 200 people will listen, then why not 2,000? So that's one of the things that keeps me motivated. Obviously, I'm doing it for the love of music because I love recording music. I love writing songs, recording music, putting out music. But it's nice to have an audience, and it's nice to have the ambition to have as many people in the world listen to your music as possible. And I'm really happy, I'm really proud with the music that I'm putting out. This latest song, Can't Sit Still, a lot of people are saying it's their favorite song. It's certainly one of the catchiest ones. So I'm really proud to put it out, and I'm really excited about promoting it. Anyway, let me know how it's going with your music. What are you working on? How are you promoting it? What's working for you? What's not working for you? Let me know in the comments, and we can all learn from each other and help each other succeed. I'll speak to you guys next time.